Tom Record. I was on USS Joseph from 76 to 77 on the sonar tech.
Derek McLaughlin, 1975 to 77, USS Barcel, 845.
Paul Moran, USS Charles H. Brown, DDA 53, 1970 to 73.
John Morrison, USS Joseph P. Kennedy, DD 850, 1970 to 1972, radar operator.
John Heslin, USS William C. Law, 1970-1973, did Mideast and Westpac.
If you could do just a quick synopsis of being in CIC on your ship, each of you just a quick story about being in CIC. We'll start with the law.
Yeah, we were off of Vietnam. We were on the gun line and also was on air search. And it was a situation that was right on the radar scope right down here. And there was a aircraft coming from the shoreline. And I had to identify it friend or foe. Fortunately, it was friendly. And reported it to the bridge.
John Morrison on the Kennedy. The best thing or the worst thing I've had was coming out of Bermuda one time and went through a hurricane, and we took a 45-degree roll to port. So it was kind of scary, but we pulled back.
Only 45? I did 53.
Paul Moran, I think along those lines, the toughest night we had was we were coming from Bahrain down to Mombasa. We caught the tail end of a terrible storm. At one point, I thought the ship was perpendicular to the bottom. The screws were out of the water. I was in my rack, called general quarters. This is my general quarters space, and came up here. It was a tough night. It was the only time I was ever afraid at sea, was that night.
Probably the scariest moment is when we went through Typhoon Pamela, and we had a fire in aft control, and we lost all steering. And we were circling and going towards the island of Yap. And we were hitting 40, 50-foot waves. And then we lost a man overboard. Never found him. But, that was it.
I never did anything like that. I worked in sonar, so I had to walk through CIC to get there. And I was on a reserve ship, so I guess the scariest thing I did was go out on reserves every weekend.
Guys, any combat scenarios while you were in CIC that you want to talk about? Or submarine interdictions with Soviet vessels?
What's a submarine?
Yeah, oddly enough,
Our aircraft.
we chased a sub off the coast of Carolina to Carolina, and we lost it. So, and we were talking earlier, the four of us, about the technological differences between those submarines and these Gearing class, these World War II ships, were just not the same. It was very hard. It was very hard to track submarines.
I was on a communication detail while we were on the gun line, and got a report encryption that broke down into English, and found out that there was a compromise on the encryption for the day, so I had to notify the bridge and everyone in the CIC of the situation, and that was a pretty hot experience.
We were involved in the evacuation of Vietnam in the Midwest affair. I was on the third helicopter what left from Vietnam, out of the embassy. And the Midwest affair was a lot different than the Air Force tells it.
So, gentlemen, real quick question. Since you all worked in CIC or a subcomponent of it, we'll start with the SPS. We'll start with the SPS air search and then the surface search. Air search radar sets. How do you think they work tracking jets and other aircraft?
Never worked.
Never worked.
So Kennedy carried a 29. Did your ships carry 29?
40.
40.
29.
Yeah, we have 40.
I had the dubious honor of being able to go up to the antenna to clean the dielectrics.
That sounds like you won a prize that day.
I won the job for 3 years.
So your air search, so you all seem to be on a consensus that the air search did not
Never worked.
Never
How
worked.
about the surface search, SPS 10?
That was good.
10 was good, yeah.
10 was good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
It worked.
So for the Sonarman 23, how was the 23 system?
It worked if the subs were close enough.
If they're close enough, and probably diesel boats, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you.
Look forward to talking to you guys a little later on throughout the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.